The following 30 heads of the zone girdling the Earth are under the zodiacal sign of Sagittarius, and their seals have to be drawn in blue color. Figure 265, Neshkama, 1 degree Sagittarius. By the intuition and inspiration from this intelligence, men have found the way to work metals with the help of fire and water, i.e., to harden them, until finally the present state of steel production and metal hardening has been reached. During the course of time, mankind will find new, more complete procedures for the hardening of metals which at present have to remain unknown. Figure 266, Momo, 2 degrees Sagittarius. Steam and the diverse possibilities of its use have been introduced to man by this head, whether the vaporization of liquids for manifold purposes or the production of the most modern steam engines is concerned. At the appropriate hour, Imo will inspire many an inventor with improvements, changes and novelties in this line. Figure 267, Catham, 3 degrees Sagittarius, controls all fruits of the earth. Without mankind knowing it, it was inspired by this head not to eat fruit just in its natural state, i.e., at the moment of its becoming ripe, but also to be blessed with the gifts of nature when nature rests and when no fruits can be harvested. So it happened that some types of fruits were merely dried at the beginning, later they were cooked and conserved. Then man started using fruits in yet another way, by working them up into jams, juices, etc. Catham's reservoir of recipes and novelties in the utilization of fruits is almost unlimited. Figure 268, Eremites, 4 degrees Sagittarius, to bring peace to the earth and amongst the peoples of the earth is the mission of this intelligence. Ideals which aim at the true peace of mankind are led and strengthened by Eremites. He is always pleased to entrust the magician with the ways in which good influences can be produced by the Akasha principle, in order to awaken peaceful ideas. Figure 269, Azinl, 5 degrees Sagittarius, to bring good luck to everybody is a pleasant mission, and divine providence has charged this intelligence of the zone girdling the earth with it. A magician who is in contact with Azinl can be sure that he will have good luck everywhere when he is in need of it, no matter whether it is in respect of love, gambling, or other affairs. But by the help of this head or by the help of his subordinates, the magician is not only able to bring happiness to himself alone, he can also bring it to other people who do not deal with magic. Azinl also lets the magician realize to what extent he can make use of his own powers and how far the head himself is allowed to advance. Figure 270, Giriola, 6 degrees Sagittarius, being a special expert in all the virtues of morality on our earth, this head reveals to the magician the genuine secrets of the magical equilibrium. He teaches him the correct use of introspection and draws his attention to faculties and powers which are the result of introspection. Having carried out introspection according to instructions given by Giriola in respect of himself and other people, the magician will acquire great power of intuition and the genuine recognition of the Akasha principle. The magician may learn many facts of wisdom from this intelligence and have them brought to his intellect. Figure 271, Asorg, 7 degrees Sagittarius, the art of making pictorial impressions in a manifold manner, whether by engraving, inscribing, sewing, drawing, or painting, has been taught to the people on earth by this head. Photography, cinema and film come under the competence of this head, as well as television, on which field there are still a great many inventions to come in the future. Asorg also instructs the magician how he can make pictures visible over the greatest distances, so that even an untrained eye is able to see them. Figure 272, Ramage, 8 degrees Sagittarius, has, apart from other things, to control the influences of the 28 moon stations on our Earth. The best information on rhythm and periodicity can be got from Ramage. He is always prepared to reveal to the magician the secrets of the 28 moon stations and their influences on human life in the physical, astral and mental aspects, and to show him, too, how he can make practical use of all the knowledge gained by him. Figure 273, Nimalon, 9 degrees Sagittarius, protects all insane people and, with the help of his subordinates, all those people who by fate are not to be met with any evils. Lunatics are under his protection so that during their fits nothing can happen to them, so are people who suffer from street vitis's dance, epileptic fits, etc. The magician learns from this head about the causes of all these evils and also about the way in which they are successfully treated. Figure 274, Dimurga, 10 degrees Sagittarius, is a guardian of travelers, especially of those traveling by sea, by any kind of ship. Dimurga is quite willing to inform the magician on individual talismans and their manufacture which give shelter and help during travels. If the magician is on board a ship and equipped with a protective talisman of Dimurga, he will survive the strongest hurricane without ever being in danger of drowning. Figure 275, Golog, 11 degrees Sagittarius, being an excellent initiator into the magic of evocation. This head initiates the magician into secret methods concerning the evocation of all types of beings. He will reveal to the highly ethically developed magician powerful magic words which will force any being, no matter whether positive or negative, to obey him absolutely. The magician may further learn much from this intelligence about the synthesis of the magic of evocation. Figure 276, Ugali, 12 degrees Sagittarius, being an initiator into the high magic which leads to the highest wisdom. This head is hard to get into contact with, for he usually sends his subordinates to deputize for him. Only a virtually perfect magician will succeed in getting into direct contact with Ugali. If, however, the magician has once succeeded in this, he has the best initiator into the highest magic, especially spheric magic, at his disposal and will be initiated by him into the most secret sciences that reveal to him the highest wisdom. Figure 277, Elasan, 13 degrees Sagittarius, is, like Ugali, hard to contact. If the magician succeeds in doing so in spite of this high initiator will reveal to him secret magical and quabalistic methods by which he will be able to realize all his high ideals. Figure 278, Girya, 14 degrees Sagittarius, trade in monetary matters, including the making of coins from all types of metals, fall under the competence of this head. He has developed man in this respect in accordance with his grade of maturity and the scheduled time. He can give the magician information on all this. Figure 279, Hosan, 15 degrees Sagittarius. All kinds of educational methods applied to young and old people originate from the inspiration of this head, who at the same time is the originator of all schools, starting from the oldest schools for prophets, and continuing up to the present time. From Hosan the magician will learn everything concerning the upbringing of children. The magician asking this intelligence for help will be able to pass any school examinations. Figure 280, Mesa, 16 degrees Sagittarius, is the originator of all customs and rites of all the peoples all over the world, especially those concerning wooing, lovemaking and marriage. He lets the magician behold all customs and rites that have been in use from the prime origin up to the present day and also those customs and rites which he will cause people to use in the distant future. Figure 281, Harkinon, 17 degrees Sagittarius. All the orphans, all the abandoned, expelled and hated are under the special protection of this head. Depending on their karma, he helps them all bear their lot more easily and helps in all the cases in which divine providence allows it. A magician can get advice and help for people like these from this head. Figure 282, Pechino, 18 degrees Sagittarius, is the guardian of all hunters and all those people who are occupied with the chasing of wild animals. He is the inspirer of appropriate weapons and other implements necessary for catching game or wild animals. Figure 283, Cabenton, 19 degrees Sagittarius, astronomy, astrology and all affiliated sciences come under the competence of this head. He explains to the magician in detail the synthesis of astronomy and astrology. By the help of Cabenton the magician learns to know the visible part of the universe, i.e., the starry sky, and is instructed in the influences and effects of the constellations on our earth, on the fate of the individual and on the fate of whole nations. Figure 284, Ikagai, 20 degrees Sagittarius, gives help and advice in case of malicious diseases like epilepsy, cancer, diseases of the spinal cord, street dance, etc., the causes of which have not been found up to this date and which therefore are still regarded as incurable. Ikagai lets the magician recognize the causes of severe and hidden diseases and at the same time entrusts him with methods for the production of appropriate means to cure them. Figure 285, Baityanos, 21 degrees Sagittarius, to give bliss, peace, pleasure and delight to man is the special commission of this head. Everything that makes man happy is caused by this inspirer of happy moments, or by his subordinates. The magician will have all such questions put to Baityanos answered to his fullest satisfaction. Figure 286, Hidero, 22 degrees Sagittarius, is a representative of justice. He can fulfill for the magician everything that requires true justice, no matter whether in legal or any other affairs. The magician will get this head's full assistance in all judicial matters. Figure 287, Ergomian, 23 degrees Sagittarius, is an inspirer of the science of color and instructs the magician thoroughly not only in the production of colors, but also in their mixing. If the magician is interested in painting, he can get unsurpassable recipes for mixing colors, inks, drawing inks, etc., in respect of their production as well as their practical application. Ergomian is also an expert in synthetic, inorganic chemistry and can also inform the magician in this line. Figure 288, Icon, 24 degrees Sagittarius, reveals to the magician the mysteries of the magical equilibrium of body, soul and spirit in their relation to the Akasha principle. He also explains to the magician what genuine introspection is, how important it is for the achievement of the magic equilibrium and that without introspection a physical, psychic and spiritual training, a true recognition of the universal truths is impossible. Figure 289, Alyssum, 25 degrees Sagittarius, guards the deep secrets of silence and the powers and faculties produced by silence as a negative state. Alyssum is thus the head of the magic of silence. Figure 290, Jezero, 26 degrees Sagittarius, is the leader of human conscience, of its arousal in man at the given time or in certain situations. The magician knows that any expression of conscience is an expression of the Akasha principle which declares itself by the inner voice in man. Jezero and his subordinates usually see that even the greatest criminal experiences pricks of conscience which lead him to reason. Figure 291, Agasoli, 27 degrees Sagittarius, phenomenal magic comes under the competence of this head, who can give the magician hints, instructions and even practical assistance in this respect. Assisted by Agasoli and his subordinates, the magician is able to bring about the most incredible magical phenomena. It is Agasoli who has inspired man to copy many an occult phenomenon by technical inventions. He is therefore regarded as the original initiator of all magical apparatus. The latter are being used by amateurs and sorcerers on the stage who, by deception of the senses and by manual skill, try to lead the spectators to believe that they are in possession of genuine magic powers and faculties. With Agasoli's help the magician is able to make many a technical invention by which other occult phenomena can be imitated. Figure 292, Icor, 28 degrees Sagittarius, is a leader of the fate of every human being. The magician who evokes this head will be able to realize by his assistance the difference between destiny and free will. Icor is, no doubt, in the position to change the fate of any person, should the magician ask him to do so. He may let the magician know how far his personal free will is going in respect of a certain task. Figure 293, Saris, 29 degrees Sagittarius, teaches the magician the magic charging of talismans and amulets by the projection of accumulated light or accumulated elements. He also gives the magician exact information on how to ban beings of the various spheres. Figure 294, Ilami, 30 degrees Sagittarius, and his subordinates care for all the waters situated under the Earth's surface. From this head the magician can learn how and to what extent subterranean mineral springs can be found without having to use any of the usual location apparatus. By the help of this intelligence the magician is able to find drinking water even in the driest desert without the use of a divining rod, providing, of course, that there is any water at all under the surface of the Earth nearby. Under Alami's protection are all workers who are occupied with the detection and utilization of subterranean waters.